All right. Well, let's get started with this. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus a little bit more on some of the apps. Like I said, this was going to be a two-part series, and we're looking at, see if I got it in there, the Apple Vision Pro apps. Last week I talked about the Apple Vision Pro, and I hope to have the video up on that probably tomorrow. I did re-record it, like I said, twice because the audio was really bad. And really what it comes down to is these guys here. I was on another podcast, with Steve, or a meeting with Steve the other day, and the audio was breaking up again, same kind of thing where I had that Darth Vader voice. I didn't, but the people were coming through. But Steve didn't have that. So then I thought, okay, it's got to be something with my equipment here. So I'm not going to switch to these microphones at all. I'm going to keep it on this microphone. So I do have it set to where I can swing it out, but it might get just a little bit quiet. If I turn like this, you're not going to hear me, and I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder, but that's basically the only way. I don't have any clip-on mics or anything like that. So actually I do, but I don't. They haven't been used in 2 years, so I just figured this will work fine. I did a test, and when I recorded it, it worked fine. So hopefully that will cover all of that Darth Vader voice. And look for a video where I basically talked about everything that I did in the meeting last week, and that will be hopefully, if it's not tomorrow, it'll be on Monday. So look for that there. So with the well, first of all, because this is going to go out on YouTube eventually. That's why I took everybody's face off of the thing before I started recording. So I just need to do a brief introduction. I'm Dan Wassink from Dan's Tutorials, and I create easy-to-follow video tutorials and basically just videos on Apple equipment, things like that. And you can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Dan's Tutorials. And all I ask for, most of the videos you can find are free. You can actually go to most of my meetings, free registration. The whole idea is I hope you like what you see, and if you do, there's a way that you can support me, and that is by becoming a member of my site. It's just a small business, me and my wife. She's over in the other room, works for Susan G. Komen, and your support is definitely appreciated, and it does help me keep doing what I love doing, which is this. In addition to that, when you do become a member of my site, you also get access to my chat assistant, AI assistant, works through ChatGPT 4 Turbo, and I have it mimic an Apple Genius. So if you have any questions on anything, you can just go and ask it, and it works surprisingly well. So that's another benefit of becoming a member. No ads in the videos as well. So when you watch us on YouTube, you're going to see ads. You watch us on my site and you're a member, no ads. So that's just a little bit about me, but that's not what you came for as I always say. You came here to hear me talk about the Apple Vision Pro. And last week, like I said, I talked more about the hardware and how it works. Today, we're going to spend about an hour looking at some of the apps. So there's some really immersive apps. And the whole idea, people are asking, so what do you use this thing for? Okay, you put it on your head, you can see your computer, but I'm kind of comfortable working with my multiple monitors here. Why would I get this? And the idea behind it, I think, is the whole immersion of it. So what you're going to be able to do is immerse yourself in these different applications and things like that.
Plans tonight?
I'm going to mute everyone here.
Going anywhere?
Good idea.
Whoops, not me. I don't want to mute me. I got to mute everybody else. Participants.
Melissa was asking me. I said, I didn't think so.
There we go. And again, I'll say, if anybody has any comments, questions, anything like that, I'm okay with interrupting me. I will try to pause for questions, but sometimes I don't, and I miss the chat, although I do have that open. I'm on new medication for the cough. It takes about 3 to 4 weeks, so I got to deal with this for a while yet, but we'll get that fixed as well. So let's take a look at some of the apps. I'm really sorry about that. Let's take a look at some of the apps. So the first thing I'm going to do, obviously, is pop it on. And I do have the readers, the optic sensors for it. So I'm going to pop this thing on. Well, actually, I should say, before I pop it on, does anyone have any questions on the Apple Vision Pro before I pop it on and we start looking at some of the apps? We're good? All right. I'm going to put this in my back pocket, the battery. And George, here it goes, getting caught. The funny thing is with this Aeron chair, for those of you who weren't here earlier, we talked about these chairs. I have an Aeron chair. This little pesky cord gets caught on the arms and things like that. This cord is actually a little bit more of a pain in the butt than I thought it would be. So, anyway, let's pop this thing on. And I need to share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to try, lock on my pupils there. I'm going to try to not shake as much and move around so fast. So this is going to be a little bit slower moving. That is on. And now I need to share my screen. And there it is. Okay. And we share. All right. So we are in business, it looks like. All right. So everyone can see what I'm seeing. And again, this is all pass through. So there's cameras here that are projecting what you're seeing and what I'm seeing, or what the cameras are seeing, to displays that are going, to my eyes. And then what that is doing, or what I'm doing, is I'm airplaying this over to an iPad, and that iPad I'm sharing with you. So basically what you're seeing here is what I'm seeing. And I should clarify, I've spent a few more days with it, another week with it since last week. And I should clarify, there is a small field of view in this. And a good analogy is it's like you have ski goggles on or a scuba mask on, or you're looking through a set of binoculars. When you have these off, my peripheral vision is out here. But when I have these on, my peripheral vision is I'd say right about there. I can't see, I can just barely see my palms. So that is my field of view there. Not that that's a bad thing. It is a little bit narrow for the Apple Vision Pro, but once you put it on, you kind of get used to it. It's not that bad, but it does, it is a little bit of something. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to show you first. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these apps. And first of all, we're just going to recap. When I go over to my environments here, what I'm going to be talking about with immersion is this right down here. So I am in Hawaii. You can see my desk down here. I'm going to dial down the immersion here a little bit. So you can see, the clouds are right here, but you can see my office on the outside in the peripheral. And when I dial it in, what we can do is we can dial in the amount of that immersion. So this is the type of things that we're going to be looking at, which apps do this and how they put an augmented reality, I think that's the term that they use, an augmented reality into this VR Pro. So when I dial it fully in, I cannot see my desk. So here I'm going to move around, but I'm going to try to do it slowly. When I go look down, I'm just looking. I am fully immersed, and I can even go around. Hopefully I won't move too fast here, but I can go a full 360 here, and I am in Hawaii here. I am not in my office for all intents and purposes. It's just immersed fully in. And we do have other places to go. So I can go to Joshua Tree here. And now I'm looking at Joshua Tree. Same kind of thing if I were to move around. You're fully immersed. And the idea with this is when you open up a window, so let's go ahead and look at my apps here. we're just going to go to the App Store here. So when I'm looking at a window, you just kind of put it out there, and there's the App Store. We can make this a little bit smaller. Oops, my microphone got in the way there. Let's try this again. And I got to move back just a little bit. My microphone, I didn't see it. But I can, make this a little bit smaller, move it around, pop it there, and then I can pop another window in here and another window. And basically, instead of having 2 or 3 monitors, I have my full office here, 360, that I'm sitting in Joshua Tree to work. So I can go like this. We can open up my photos. And we can move that. Go like this. We'll go into my notes. And we'll go like that. Go like this. We'll go to Safari. Now I have Safari. Go like this. And let's open up the settings. And now I'm just going to move slowly here. But we can put that over here. Let's go with freeform. And we can even do one more. Well, I could do many more. We need music, right? Not that I'm going to play any for copyright, but so now I have my music, freeform, my settings app, App Store, Safari, photos, and you know what I'm going to see right over here? My music app. So I can still place some windows all around here. And this is the idea behind this, is you can just immerse yourself in, these environments. And you can say, place them back a little bit. And now, I want to work on photos. I just pull that forward and I can work on photos. I want to go to the settings app. I would just turn and go to the settings app. And that's the whole idea with this immersive thing. I can put my Mac in here and I can work on my Mac, and then I still have all these windows. So think of basically you have an infinite spot for, I shouldn't say infinite, but you can put a lot more windows in here. Even if you had 3 monitors, you couldn't do what I'm doing here. So eventually it's going to get to the point, and I think that's where this Apple Vision Pro, the spatial computing, is going to be. You're going to be having all these different windows here, and you just kind of, okay, I'm going to work on this. Okay, I'm going to go and work on this. Okay, I'm going to go and work on this. And you just kind of have to rotate around, or you can just grab them. Okay, I'm done with that. Pop that over here. Let's bring this one over here. Okay, I'm done with that. And all I'm doing is just grabbing them virtually. Hook up a keyboard to it, and you can type. Hook up a trackpad to it, and you can use a trackpad as a mouse. So that's the whole idea with this immersion. Now, we're looking at my photos here, and this is my panoramics here, my photos that I've taken with the iPhone. And Apple is really pushing this because their technology, their iPhone can take these photos, and it is very impressive. So I just pinch to open it up. Looks like any other photo. But when I go to the upper right-hand corner, right there is a little immersive button. Pinch. Now I'm in this photo. Now this is a 180-degree photo or thereabouts. So you're going to see that if I keep going, I'm back in Joshua Tree. Go this way. I'm back in. I can see my floor or Joshua Tree. I can see the sky. So it's not a full 360 or anything like that, but it's still very impressive. But there's something more that you can do with this that is more impressive if you have a 360 camera. So I'm going to exit this. That is the panoramic. We can also go into, let's close that. We can go into spatial here, and spatial are the 3D movies, and you can take those with your iPhone 15 as well. I'm not going to show you that. I mean, I have some, but you can't see it. It looks just like a regular movie to you. So, but to me, they really are. They're 3D. Very impressive. The quality isn't that great yet because I think it shoots them in 1080. So that's going to be one thing that you're going to see, I think, down the road. iPhone 16 will probably shoot them in 2K, and maybe the iPhone 17 will shoot them in 4K. You know how Apple works with that, just kind of ramping each one up. So the quality isn't too great yet. And that's going to be the whole key with this. This looks absolutely fantastic. And they say that it's basically equivalent to looking at a 65-inch TV if we were compare it to our regular eyes. Absolutely great to me. Which means you take a bad photograph, it's going to look bad. You take any photos that are 2K, looks great on the iPhone because the iPhone is just this little bit itty bitty thing. You look at it on here, you're going to start seeing the pixelization and things like that. So you have to start getting higher quality cameras and things like that. So now I'm going to show you a 360 photo. Same place that was over in Puerto Vallarta. And I think I've mentioned it to you. Actually, we'll just go and take that out of immersion here. I have this camera here, and this is a 360 camera. So it takes photos, videos, fully all the way around, 360 degrees. Now, there's really no way to view those. So what you have to do is you have to make them flat. And it does a really nice job of creating flat videos with this. But with this, I can actually view them. So let's go and take a look at a photo. I do have to use a third-party app. This is why I believe Apple is not really pushing this. They're pushing the Panoramic Photo, and it looks good. And it does. It looks great. But could you imagine if with 360? That's what we're going to see here. And this is with this app, Immersive Photos. Third-party app. But Apple doesn't have a camera that takes 360, so of course they're not going to push that it can do this. But we're going to take a look at that. So here's my 360. Same resort, but it was taken with my 360 camera, so I'm just going to pinch to open it up. And again, I don't have to hold my hand up. So with this, there I am on the bench, or on the balcony, and I'm holding a selfie stick. Yes, I do have a selfie stick. I actually have several selfie sticks. Don't let that out. But basically, I have a selfie stick, and it has that 360 camera on the end of it, so it's sticking outside of the balcony there. And when you take a photo or a video with the 360 camera and that selfie stick, that selfie stick becomes invisible. So you don't actually see that. So I'm just kind of striking a pose there while holding that camera. But this is 360. So hopefully I won't get anyone too queasy or anything like that, but I'm just going to take a look around. So there is below me. Now we'll go above me. And now I'm going to turn around. There's a resort that I was at. So there is the Pacific Ocean. Everyone can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I can't see my screen anymore, so if someone has a comment, I would appreciate if someone told me that there's a comment. You're really going to have to interrupt me because I do not have Zoom enabled on here. Zoom does have a problem. They acknowledged it, so I'm not in Zoom. I can't see anybody or anything like that. So, but this is the resort that I was at. So there are the couple of the bars. There's the pool. That is the Pacific Ocean. And as you can see, I'm just looking around. Now, the quality on this is taken with a 5.6K camera. But 5.6K, you're thinking that's got to be great, but it's 5.6K all the way around me. So really, it's not that good. So all of a sudden, I got this, and I'm like, ooh, this is really nice. Ooh, the quality isn't that great. I'm already looking at upgrading my 360 camera to a 1-inch sensor. They have a 1-inch sensor that you can get. But this is the 360 video. Again, I could go all the way around, and there I am again. Or 360 photo. So to me, that I thought that was really cool that I can actually go back in and take a look at this, much more than even the panoramic. So that's the, now I got to get out of this thing. This is the problem that, and I'm going to say it's probably Apple more than anything. How do you get out of this immersive photo? Well, what you need to do, and I'm not going to do it because otherwise it'll get you sick. But you need to look for that little bar, which could be anywhere. Actually, I think it's up on top. There it is. So you have to remember where all that is. And if you don't remember where that is, you're kind of stuck, like in this dimension. So you have to force quit the app, something that I do on a regular basis. So that's a photo. But now let's take a look at a video that I can take with that same 360 camera. And this is done with another app. So I have to go to Moon Player. And there it is. So here's Moon Player. This is the one that I'm going to open up. This plays 360 videos. Same camera. I import it in here. I go to Imported Videos. And we're going to go to this bottom one here. So with this, we went to Arizona with our friends. Our friends stay there for the winter. So last January, a year ago January, or February, we went and visited them. And they have a Jeep, and we just kind of went driving around, in the desert. So what I did, of course, because that's what I'm going to do, with my selfie stick, I held the 360 camera off of the top went through the sunroof, and held it out at the top of the Jeep as we're driving around. So that's what you're going to see here. So I'm going to pinch to open it up. It does take a minute for it because it's a large file. I'm already thinking that I have to upgrade my Vision Pro. I have the 256K and it's pretty small. I'm going to fill it up. So this is a 360 video. Now it looks kind of strange, right? Got the curves and all that. It's not something that you'd really watch. But here's what I need to do. I need to go into the lower right-hand corner. I pinch. Where is it? There we go. You're going to see the little film strip there with an arrow. Hopefully you can see that. But anyway, I just pinch, and I go to 360. And when I do, watch what happens. I'm now looking out the back of the Jeep. So there's a motorcycle person following us. And then I just turn around. There's our friends Ponch and Marilyn. There I am, and then Beth is sitting next to me. And I can sit here and look around as Ponch is just driving the Jeep. So I can kind of relive this moment. And yes, we were bouncing around a lot on this video, or in this ride.
Go off road and lose that guy, Indiana.
He eventually turns off, the motorcyclist. But that's a 360 video. So it's not 3D, but it's 360. So what you could do is, I'm thinking already in Christmas, our family all gets together. I could just stick that 360 camera on a tripod and just let it run as people open their gifts. Put it in a kind of out of the way, but where it has a good spot. And then 5-10 years down the road, I could relive that whole experience. Camera is sitting still, which is really nice, because that's when you get into the whole kind of thing. Camera is sitting still because it's on a tripod. And what you'll be able to do is you'll just be able to look around and watch people as they open gifts or anything like that. So if you have any kind of those special moments, and Apple is talking about taking a 3D video special moments, I think this is just as good as a video, these 360, because I can just kind of look around and see the whole experience, or relive the whole experience. Now, you'll just notice that as I was doing this, did you see my window changed sizes there? That's one thing you have to get used to, is don't talk with your hands. If you talk with your hands, you might run into problems with this. So that's, the 360 angle, where you can view these. Now, of course, you do have to get a 360 camera. But again, think 4 or 5 years down the road. Apple may come out with a 360 camera. Maybe they won't. But they're certainly going to be, a key component of this, I believe. along with the 3D. They already have better 3D cameras. The iPhone 15 does a pretty good job. It does a really good job. But to take a real good 3D, what you really should do is have the cameras further apart. When you take a 3D photo or video with this, it does a really nice job, but I'm not going to go at Christmas and wear this thing. But the cameras are far apart, so you get that nice 3D. You look at the camera on the iPhone, the lenses are only that far apart. There's already rumors that next year's camera, you're going to see the lenses further apart to get a better 3D effect. So this is a whole new world that that Apple has taken us into, this whole 3D, this immersion, that kind of thing. Let's go to another place here. This time what we're going to do is we're going to go to night sky here. Now with night sky, what I can do is I can view the sky. But even more than that, what I can do is I can place myself, let's go ahead and open this up, I can place myself in a planetarium. And when I do, all of my room is going to disappear here. So let's go ahead and pinch to go in. There it goes. It knows my location, so the sky here is my location. It's based on my location. Although I can go and search, and go to different places. I can choose different layers, horizon line, daytime effect, constellation lines. Let's go with constellation. Actually, we want those. We have everything on there. I can choose light spectrums, my location, and I can even change the date. But here's where it gets really nice. So as you can see, I'm looking around, trying to move slow for you, Ward. But as you can see, I'm looking around, and things just kind of pop out as I'm looking around. So here's Draco, and it draws it out. But even more than that, let's take a look at, I'm going to say this wrong, Kachab, or whatever. When I look at that, it pulls it out, and now what I can do is I can read about it, and I can actually see the planet or the star. It would be more of a star, not a planet, right? So here, with this, whoops, I didn't mean to exit, but you get the idea. That's the planetarium. With that, what you're able to do is just kind of put yourself in a planetarium, and you can actually go to different places. They do have, let's go back in there. They have a tour, so let's go to select the live tour. We're going to go with 360. We'll go with short. We won't watch the whole thing. Show objects above you. Let's just go fully immersed. Start the tour. And now it's playing this tour. So there's a 5 solar system object, 25 constellations currently visible. Let's take a look at them. And I'm just reading. It is currently visible. So here it is. It's bringing it into me. And this is all 3D. You're not seeing it in 3D, but this is 3D. So this is close to me where everything else is far. And then I can go to the next one. So just think about this for education, for somebody that wants to, learn about the stars. Here's another good one. We're going to take a look at the human heart. Doctors, that kind of thing. So I have this Insight heart here. This one is kind of creepy in all actuality, but let's go ahead and open it up. Where is it? You can see what it's doing there. Let's put myself in Joshua Tree so it doesn't conflict with all of my windows there. So I'm just going to immerse myself. And we're going to move that back window. I have to look around it because it's 3D. So there's the human heart. You know what? We need to peel this thing apart. I want to see different parts of it. Let's go and take a look at the cardiac skeleton. And we can actually see the blood flowing. I can bring this in. I believe, nope, I can't turn this one around. Let's see what atrial fib, I'm not going to be able to say it, so I won't even say it. But now we can kind of see what that atrial fibrillation is. Here's heart failure. Healthy. And now we can see what an unhealthy heart is. I can rotate it. There's the rotate. So gestures. That's what I want. I want to be able to rotate it. I rotated it the other day. Let's go to, no, we don't want that one. Normal heart rate. Go back over here. And we want the heart base. Now we can kind of see in there. And I'm just going to move closer. I'm going to make sure my microphone, although it will show me my microphone. You're going to see that as you get closer to the microphone. It's like, hey, there's a microphone in front of you. But I can look around this thing. So I don't want to move too fast, but if you were wearing this, you would literally be able to stand up and just walk around this heart and see all the sides of it. Let's go to myocardium. And again, I can just sit there and look all around it. So think of how doctors are going to be able to use this thing down the road. And the beauty of this is, you know, the pass-through. So what they will actually be able to do is possibly, you know, work on someone's heart. Sounds kind of creepy, but they could work on someone's heart here and then have this, you know, kind of as their, you know, their base of what they're trying to do, you know, kind of thing. So kind of wild. And that's all 3D. This is actually coming out at me. It is not, not flat like what you would be seeing. Let's take a look at another one. This one we're going to go with jig. So you probably, if you've watched any videos, you've seen the video of the F1. I'm not going to do the F1. I like flying. We're going to go over to this jet engine. Now, I'm just going to slowly move over here because this thing's pretty big. So we're going to put it right there. Tap to place it. Now I've got a jet engine here. I can maneuver this thing around, resize it. We can actually see that it's right here. It's about 100%. That is a full-size jet engine. And what I'm able to do, trying to move slow here, but I'm just going to stand up so I don't use, but I can look around this thing and, you know, get a good perspective of it. And then, of course, we can peel it apart. So I can take this and you see I'm just pulling pieces off of it. Whoop. Turn it around here a little bit. I'm in front of it. So I'm just pulling pieces off of this thing. You want to take apart an engine? Here you go.
You might want to safety check the doors on those planes.
Nice one. But yeah, now I want to turn it around and we can see that all the pieces are missing. My office is peeking through here, you know. But that's jig, and you can do this with all kinds of things. The F1 car, you know, all that good stuff. So for mechanics, you know, that would be something. I'm going to close it here. So for mechanics, I could see that, not mechanics, engineering, you know, things like that. I think that would be a huge bonus for them. Now we'll get into, you know, a little bit of the music. I love music, as we talked about before we started this whole thing. LongPlay. Okay, my albums. That's kind of cool. I can see my albums here, but I'd like to see this in a wall. You're going to see that I have immersive here. That's how you view your music. It's all done through Apple Music. You can see I was listening to Dara Hall and John Oates. There's my music that I was listening to. So if I wanted to go to another song, let's go with Bon Jovi. I pinch, it pulls it out, and I double pinch, it loads it up in this little area here. Ronnie James Dio. Love Ronnie James Dio. And now I have Ronnie James Dio. So I have my wall of music here. And what you can do with this is you can rearrange this. I'm going to exit. What we can do is we can change how it's ordered. We can change the size. So the last thing that I listened to is going to be larger. Let's go ahead and put that in there. So now it's going to mix them up by size. I can set different notifications and things like that. So now what I'm able to do, if I just want to listen to some music, I go into Immersive here. It's not doing the larger size there, but basically just look at my wall here and start listening to us, looking at the music and playing it. Close that. What else do I have here? Go this way. I was listening to a podcast with John Gruber, and what he was talking about this as a little bit of excitement because it feels like the beginning days of a new platform like the Mac and all that. Apps are very buggy because they're pushing, it's all so new. So in a strange kind of way, it's exciting to some of us. This doesn't really bother me that it crashes because it's so new. Now, give it a year. Yeah, I'll be bummed with the developer if it crashes, but right now, I'm not too, it doesn't concern me too much. Let's go with Synth Riders. This one I can take balls. I think I demonstrated this one last week too, but it's going to open up a portal. And what I'm going to be able to do is play a game to music, and I just kind of move my hands in my office here. There's the portal that it's opening up, but we can still see my office and look at my hands. They're balls. So now what I need to do, you can't hear the music, but basically I am just kind of, and this goes to the beat of the music. So that's a kind of a fun little interesting twist on games. And again, I'm just sitting here in my office, kind of thing. Let's get out of this one. And we want to quit out of here.
You still have the Art Authority app?
I don't anymore. I got rid of some of those. I'm just keeping an eye on them. I'm going to force quit because I don't know how to quit out of here. Let's see. Synth Riders. Force quit. And
Dan,
yeah.
are all these programs only for the Vision Pro, or can they be done on the Mac?
No, they can be. Super Ninja is available on the iPhone a lot, but you're not going to get that 3D experience. I'll try it again towards the end. What time is it? Okay, we're good. But you're not going to get that 3D experience. That's going to be the problem with it when you play. But yes, it's absolutely available on some of these. Here's a good classic one, Void X, for the classic games. Look what we have on the side, and it's in that 8-bit art when the lightning comes. So here I'm just controlling this. It's kind of like what, Galaxia or something like that. But the lightning on the side, and you would normally hear thunder. Of course, you can't do that, but and this is 3D. These ships that I'm shooting are floating above the city. This isn't a flat thing here. So they're adding, and it's raining in my office in 8-bit mode. It's not real clean rain because this is an 8-bit game, or mimics an 8-bit game.
Screen bigger?
No, but I could do this. Move closer to it.
There you go.
And you can see when it hits, the things kind of come out at you. This is raised above the screen, so there's about that much in between that and that. This is about that much depth in there. And when those rings come out, they're coming out like this. And then the lightning is over to my left and right. Let's see here. This one I'm not sure how to quit out of either, so guess what I do? Force quit. I think that's a thing hopefully that they will address, because it's 360 around you. Okay, now how do I quit out of this? I'm immersed in here. I don't see any quit. And there's not an easy way to switch between open apps. I think Tom mentioned that last week. So I have a lot of open apps right now, but there's not an easy way to switch to it. Supposedly in the beta, if you have a keyboard, you can use Command Tab. So they know that there's issues with this kind of thing. But in this particular one, they don't have anything like that. PGA Tour for the golfers. Sure, I got the leaderboard and all that, but let's go here. And I need to immerse myself. Completed. No. Where is it? I can actually, oh, it's down here. Sorry, people. There it is, down there. So what I'm able to do here is actually see the golf course. And you can kind of see the blue line going. So that's going to be his goal. So basically when not only are you watching it here, but you can watch it in 3D as they're playing. Same thing with baseball. Baseball has that same kind of thing where you can see the people on the field. Let's go ahead and move this. Oops. I think. Again, how do I close out of this? I don't know. Oh, I know how. You force quit. No, you're really not supposed to do that, but sometimes that's what you got to do. Baseball, for the baseball fans out there like Steve, let's go here, watch now. So I'm going to be watching the game. Watching the game, but down here you're going to see this little brick. This is the pitch. So when someone pitches, I'm going to be able to see if they were outside of the zone or, is it a strike? So here we should see it. So we can see he's getting ready to pitch. And when he does, we can see the batter.
Look down just a little bit more.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I remember that. Yep. I remember that. All right. And just before they had the pitch clock. All right, here we go. And he was out. So that's kind of cool. You can see the pitch, but not only that, we can see all the players on the field. So now as they're playing, and you can kind of see like their little hockey pucks and they're actually moving. So I don't know if they have trackers on them. It'd be kind of interesting to figure out how they do this. Or are the cameras watching them and then they know, what's going on? But you can see the hockey pucks actually moving as they're moving. You can see the pitch going. So they got some really incredible technology going on in this game.
MLB required that all the players now have an air tag in their back pocket.
So that's the MLB. What else do we have here? Juno is a YouTube player, kind of nice that they have you. Oh, this one, Earth Eyes Pro. This one just came out, and you got to think that these are like version 1. I would even dare say that some of these are 0.9. They're not really full versions. So with Earth Eyes Pro, I can go Google Earth. So we're going to go here. I search for an address. I have some addresses here. First of all, we'll go to 8th Street. This is downtown Holland. Okay, now watch what happens when I click on View and I move this window. Here it is. That is a great restaurant, bar, tap room there. They probably have about 50 beers. Our Brewing, New Holland Brewery. We have an Irish pub right there. And I could keep going around. There's a nice hotel bar out there. And my favorite pizza place. Close your eyes if you get dizzy. Just spin around. My favorite pizza place is past that stop sign. And it's a great, real thin crust pizza. They play independent films here. So imagine, right now I can't move. You know, in Google Earth you can, you know, or Street View, you can actually move by pinching. I can't do that yet, but you know that that's going to happen. So I would be able to just kind of walk around and see, you know, different things of a city. It's also low res. This thing shows the, you know, the inadequacy of you know, someone driving, you know, Street View with just cheaper cameras. I mean, obviously they're not taking 4K. So this is going to expose all of the, you're basically going to want to shoot everything in the best possible quality you can going forward. Because this, in another 4 or 5 years, is how people are going to view, you know, some of their photos and all that. So,
Be cool to see some app integration or partnership, like the Flush app blending with this, and it would then show you on that street where the nearest bathrooms are, public bathrooms.
yes. Here is our house. So this is an overview of it. We have the high school, which is nearby us. So, but I'm going to move this window, and that's where I live, right there. Now look around. This is our street.
Cool.
So that now I just closed that window, but I'm stuck in this immersion. Again, what do? Force quit. It's a little bit of an issue. That's the Earth Eyes Pro.
Have you tried Apple's Maps yet?
No, that's so if we look here, you're going to see that I have compatible apps.
Mm-hmm.
And Maps is in here, which means it's just the iPad app. All these apps are iPad apps. So there is no immersion in any of these, in those compatible apps. These are the apps that are fully immersed.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be disappointed if they didn't develop it into an immersive app.
Yeah, I think they will. I think somebody said that the way that Apple works is they, you know, keep all of their teams separated from each other. A lot of people didn't really realize, you know, that they were, how far they were with this Apple Vision Pro. So now what you're going to see is, now that they've introduced it, the iWork team working on it a little bit more, and you know, things like that. Let's go over to Keynote. I showed Steve this, and Tom's, I'm sure Tom has seen this because he has a Apple Vision Pro. But when you're given a presentation, so let's go, we'll just create a new one because these are all just used for my green screen. So we'll just go with this one.
Can you use the digital crown to get in and out of immersion?
I'm going to try that. Good question. Maybe that's all I need to do.
That's what it said, yeah.
Okay. Well, there we go. I'm going to try that. So here we are. I have this presentation, and I need to rehearse it. So I go up to the top there, and you're going to see rehearse. And I have two places that I can rehearse it. I can rehearse it in the conference room. That's kind of boring. Or I can rehearse it in the Steve Jobs Theater over at Apple Park. So that's where we're going to go. And there it is. So it's like I am on the stage at Steve Jobs Theater at Apple Park. This is what it looks like. So as presenters are up there, this is what they're going to see. And again, I can just turn around and give my presentation. But you know what? I'm rehearsing this, right? I can see my slides. So basically what I would do is I would probably move these down to the bottom. That's typically where you see them, right? I would stand up. I'm not going to stand up, but I would stand up. Actually, I will stand up. So I'm standing up here. I would rehearse the presentation. But where is that presentation? Right there. And I'm going to advance it. Where is it? How come you're not advancing? Oh, I don't have any slides in there. But you would be able to see all of the slides and all that behind you. I just didn't have any slides. I thought when you loaded templates in there, it would load the whole slide up there, but it didn't, or the whole a presentation up there. But you can give a presentation in a conference room or even the Steve Jobs Theater over at Apple's Apple Park, the mothership. All right, let's try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to that Street View, Earth Eyes Pro, and we're going to go back over to 8th Street. So just so you know, see how the sidewalks are all brick? That's all snow melt. So no snow is going to be on that sidewalk. No snow is going to be on that sidewalk. And not only that, this road that we're sitting here, this is our main street, goes all the way down there, all snow melt. So no snow is going to be on this road. We actually have, I want to say 15 miles of snow melt. So it actually goes around. They just did a 5K this year on the, we didn't have any snow anyway, just because of the way the weather's been, but they're touting that it was a 5K with guaranteed no snow. Because they just, 2 roads down, 6th Street now is is all snow melt, the road, sidewalks, all that. So kind of interesting. But anyway, let's go ahead and close this. Oops, not that. We're going to close that. All right. So what I did before is I closed this window by tapping on the X. And then I wasn't sure how to get out of here. So now what do I do? So I'm going to try that trick. We're going to turn the digital crown. Didn't work. So that works when you're outside of a third-party app, but apparently it doesn't work when you're inside of a third-party app.
I put something in the chat.
Okay.
Press the digital crown, double click or press it once.
I remember that. Thank you. I need to remember that. Still learning this whole thing, so thank you. That's how you do it. Now, I press it again.
That's what Google will do.
Ah, darn it. We'll end with did I show you the game room last week? I think I did, yes. So let's go with the Encounter Dinosaurs because I found out a couple of different things with this. So this is one that's pretty popular, the Encounter Dinosaurs, because it brings a dinosaur into your room. But the thing that I like about this and what I've learned about it is it kind of shows where things are going. With a 3D movie, they're just linear. It's a story. This, you can actually, as it says, interact with it, or you can explore. So that's what we're going to do, is we're just going to explore this just a little bit. So it needs to load up here. And what you're going to see here is, now those letters are sitting above my wall there. That's a sound kind of thing to absorb the sound. But it is projecting shadows on that, which is really wild. And it's probably about that far away from the wall, to me. So we're going to go to Start. And see that butterfly there? It's going to start flying around. And I'm going to put my hand out here. And it lands on it. And I can sit here and go like this. You know what? Land on this one here. It comes back and it lands on that one. I go like that. And now it flies away. So I am interacting with this. Now we can take this a step further. I got to watch where my microphone is here. Slide over here, close your eyes. All right. So now I know the microphone is over here. Oop, a little too close. What I'm also able to do is interact with the little dinosaur and even the dinosaur that comes out at me. So right now this just kind of looks like a typical 3D where nothing is coming out at me, but the screen is infinitely deep. But he sees me here. And if I'm going to get up and walk around. Well, here, let's try this. I'll just get down here. I should have done this in a different spot because my desk is not going to work. But I can actually hold my finger out here. And he sees me. And he will follow my finger. And if I actually got close enough, I'm going to try. Yeah, see, I'm too close. If I got close enough, I could actually touch him. And he'll get up on his hind two legs and just kind of like a scratch, kind of thing, and then he'll fall off. And same thing with with his mom. I can interact with his mom as well. So his mom is going to come out and she'll see me, and as I move around, she will kind of follow me. So it's not a movie. I'm not watching a movie. I am actually interacting with it. So she's going to come out, she sees me, and I'm moving from side to side. She's looking around my office there. Look at her, my ceiling fan. And as I move, she's moving. She stepped back as I pushed her back. Did a head bump there. Now, let's quit out of that. So you can, interact with these things too, with this whole 3D. So it's not, I guess the way that I'll end this with is, we're used to a 3D move, or 3D, our eyes, everything that we see is 3D. But what we're working with on our computers and all that is all 2D. Monitors are 2D. So even though we're living in a 3D environment, everything else is 2D. What this is going to do is this is going to introduce that 3D space as a working space for us. So it's just a different level. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see it. What I would recommend doing, if you really want to experience it, and I would recommend everybody just go and experience it. You can go to any Apple store, and I believe it's a 30-minute session, and they'll just kind of guide you through it. It is something to experience. It's $3,500. It's version 1. It's not for everybody. Certainly, just for early adopters kind of thing. But if you just want to have a glimpse of what's coming in the future, 4, 5, 6, 10 years from now, you can get that glimpse right now just by going to the Apple Store and trying it out. It's very impressive. And as I said, they are coming out, developers are coming out with apps every day. I follow this app, Vision, whatever, third party, but they just show new apps every day. And let's see what time it is. Where's my clock? Oh, I'm gonna have to cut it off.
Up to 1,000 apps already.
Are they? Yeah.
It's
I mean, to me, I think what is happening is, the developers didn't have their hand on it up until a week ago Friday. Nobody had their hand, except, a few people that could go into the Apple labs or whatever. But, your most developers were not able to experience this and see what their apps were. Now that they have it in their hand, I think what you're going to see is them starting to introduce apps. And you're starting to see them introduce apps where Apple has fallen short. It doesn't have a clock. This is a third-party app. I can see my battery and the clock. That's a third-party app. for some odd reason, Apple doesn't think that you should be able to see what time it is without clicking on something. Well, now I can see the date, the time, and you know how good my battery is. So you're starting to see utility apps, which are always fun to me, come out with this thing. And yeah, it's just in the beginning stages of where this. I'm very curious to see where this is going to be in 6 months, where developers are going to take it. But that is, I'm going to take this thing off now.
Hey Dan, have you heard of any different accessories for it other than straps, maybe?
No,
or
I
have you
haven't.
Have you connected anything to it?
No,
other than a keyboard?
I have not, but that's the other thing that I think of. I mentioned this last week. You know, we have this strap, which I'm trying to use. It's a little more simple than this one here. This one is more comfortable. But I think you're going to see third-party developer or third-party manufacturers, I guess. They're going to come out with straps that are going to be, let me go over here. They're maybe more comfortable. I mentioned last week, this is all magnetic. So that tells me, I mean, really the Vision Pro is pretty small. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not really small. But you look at this light shield, it's as thick, if not, you know, even a little bit more. So, you know, somebody else might, and this is a part that sits across your face. So you might see other manufacturers that are going to come out with light shields that make this thing more comfortable. So I'm not saying it's uncomfortable, but it's big and bulky and heavy. I've gotten used to it, but yeah, it's not like a pair of sunglasses, I'll tell you that.
What about Apple is really good about doing accessibility features that actually help everybody.
Yeah, so I should have shown some.
Are you gonna? No, we'll just wait for the next session, and you'll just do all the accessibility features of the Apple Vision Pro. Right?
Well, my next session is going to be on browsing, just standard browsing. I don't want to all of a sudden dive 100% into the Apple Vision Pro because it's more of a niche product right now. But yes, I absolutely, maybe in another month, once the beta comes out and they come out with a couple betas, because you have eye tracking, I can actually use my index finger to track. I played with that today. I don't have to use eye tracking. I can use, index finger. There was something else. There's 4 different things that I can use. And of course, you can use a trackpad. So yeah, they have some really good accessibility options. And when you're looking at that with your eye tracking, you can't really see it, but I can see it where things pop out. But there's an accessibility option to where it will, put a big dot on it as well. So then you know what you're looking at, kind of thing for people that have a hard time. So definitely, and they're doing well with the accessibility on it. All right, Beth is knocking at my door, which means I got to go. So thank you, everyone. Next week, I think it's a standard AMA or it's browsing. I can't remember, but we're going to get out of the Vision Pro for a little bit. Hi, Tom. I see you on your Vision Pro. And thanks for your support. And everyone have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Aloha.
How did I do, Ward?
Thank you.
Did I do it?
Better today.
Okay,
Much
good.
better.
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. Check out some of those links in the chat.
I will do that.
Dan.
Thank you. I will do
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Thanks. It's
Bye.
just fun. It's fun to play around with all. This is so new, and I love new stuff like this. So let's see here. Save chat. I got to save it before, although I could always find it because it's my meeting. Okay. Thanks everyone,
Okay, bye
and we'll
now.
see you all later. Bye.
See ya.
Aloha.